actually, we first became acquainted at PNSQC. So pick up your shirt and get in touch with Brock. And
Yes.
Escape.
Srilu, welcome, and thank you for coming back. She's also been a former speaker at the SIG.
Srilu.
Srilu.
Srilu, press escape.
Oh, escape?
No,
Press escape.
Oh, shit.
that was supposed to be my job. I didn't do it. Sorry.
I did? Sorry. I thought I was self-sufficient. Hello. So, you can hear me okay, right?
Yes.
You can see the TV, it's important you see the TV. So my topic is about software developer in test versus product owner in test. It's not a real job right now, but that's something I would like to see happen in the future. And just so you know, Satya and Matt, I am not in any way trying to trump automated testing. Okay, it's still going to be in the picture. It's still going to do a lot of good and everything. So, continuing, let me tell you a little bit about, like, you know, that happens, right? Like, let's talk about real testing. That happens, right? Like the developer thinks they did something and I find something different and I report it. What happens? So, sometimes the feature is released as is, sometimes with a patch, it's going to go make it later, and sometimes the feature is postponed, sometimes it's shelved, and at one company I worked, they commented out the code because it was more difficult to pull out the branches. So every company is different. I mean, we read a lot of books and we want to be idealistic, but in real life, it's really, really real life. And we always expect we're a beautiful Michael Fassbender when we're working on product. This is going to be our end product, right? We end up with Boris Karloff. He's not so bad. We bandage him up and we hope he doesn't fall apart like a late stage Jenga. I mean, how many of you are thinking right now, like, oh my gosh, she's talking about my product? Just so you know, my product is awesome. I just hope nobody from my company watches this. A little bit about me. I started my career as an SDET many years ago. And I enjoy working with open source tools because they are cheap and the money goes to me. And in 2011, I came up with a framework where, you know, the code you write is interface agnostic. It's really easy to do. And if development is creation, what I do is voodoo. I make your application do whatever I want it to do. And I love exploratory testing. I love to understand how a product works from the product. And I love saris.
Nice.
It's actually falling apart. I'm a tester. I show
Jenga.
flaws. It is Jenga. It's last stage Jenga. It's 25 years old. So why this proposal? So first thing, we are living in a world where we want to do it before we know it. That's number one. And I'm not really happy about the role of testing in SDLC in particular. I don't like the belief that manual testing, oh, she's a manual tester. Oh, SDET, oh, you can automate, that means higher quality, you're right. You're just, I mean, like, you have a coded monster and then you want to create another coded monster to tame it. That's my opinion. Now, flashbacks. This is a sad flashback. I also have a happy one. So, I mean, usually some of the responses I get when I, report issues is like, major pushback. Number two, this is not going to happen in production. Our users won't do that. On top of that, I have, and on top of that, there are 3 bugs that are going to stay with me for a very long time because they're like, why wouldn't you listen to me when I find this bug, why wouldn't you fix it? So one of the bugs is like, I log in on a QA environment, I change QA.domain to www.domain, and I'm logged into a real customer's account.
Oops.
Yep. That company, they made me take down the bug because it was scaring the IT people. Yeah. And one more thing is, you can log in without a password. You know why that was closed? It's by design. You don't know about it because you were not hired 6 months ago when the reorg happened. Unsalted passwords. Why are you looking at those tables?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's real life. So those are some, and I'm not just talking about the QA team and the developers, actually my developers call me. The QA teams are no cakewalk either. When I find issues like that when I started a company and I say like, that is not okay, and they're like, we work very, very hard. You just want everything easy, okay? And I work with companies where the company policy was you cannot have an expected result for your test case. Yeah. And I've worked with companies where they're running test cases by hacking the product for a feature that has not been released because they don't know about it. They didn't know about it. I mean, this should be like pretty common sense, but it's not common sense. It's not communicated. It's never communicated. And pretty much every company I've worked at, they're not enough. They don't even cover how to have test cases. No, they don't even know they have certain features in their product. So, not gonna blame the rest of the team and say like, oh, we are the suicide squad you're using. Yeah, we're all looking for something of that. So, bugs. First of all honesty, I love bugs. They're not so bad. They teach me more about the product. They teach me more about the product than the requirement does. So they open up a whole world. So I do love. And I hate them because only reason I hate them is because they mess up my SDLC process. Oh, darn it, it was going so smoothly and now bug. And I also hated when I'm focused on testing something and I find something else and I can't go there because I have to finish this story, right? So I'm not happy about that either. So question to everybody, you've been so interactive, I'm so thankful. What are the top 3 reasons for bugs? You can do it. Okay. It's lightning talk, we have to be looking at.
Misunderstanding.
Top 2.
Misunderstanding requirements.
Top 1. You guessed it. Yeah. Then why are we in the business of verifying the requirements all the freaking time? The requirements change. They contradict. A lot happens. I mean, like you come in with one requirement, and at the end of the deploy, it's completely different, like a xenomorph. But we are in the business of verifying requirements. That's one part of my job I don't enjoy doing. I mean, the developer can take care of that. Why do they need another person to do that? Do they trust the developer? Do they trust the UAT people who will change their mind even after I write my test cases and peer review them and test it and automate it and all this? It will be changed. So all of my work is like just wasted. A little bit about project management. So project management is about timeline, budget, and resources. It's not about quality. It does not need to be about the product quality. That's our job, our business. QA and SDLC, waterfall, yes. In the beginning there was nothing, and then there was waterfall, where, yeah, we had requirements, and when the developer was coding, I was writing test cases, and when the product was ready, I tested it, I reported bugs, and you saw in the first slide what happened if I reported bugs, all that jazz. And then we had Agile. We do little bits and pieces and cutesy stuff. So for agility, we can change things, what I discussed just now. Here too, I am writing test cases when the developer is coding. So I don't see much difference in the way QA is expected through the slides. So, for example, I'm testing that beautiful piece of that beautiful remote, and all I have to do is, like, I have to test a new button that's going to be put on the remote. Kind of easy, right? But that would be checking. I'm supposed to test if the button works well with the rest of the remote control and everything. That would be testing. Just wanted to let you know. Waterfall versus agile. Yes, this is definitely waterfall, that's agile, but when you're adding bits and pieces, I'm testing bits and pieces, but I'm not testing as a whole. I have to test as a whole. That's the reason automation was brought in. Many test cases were made. Caffeine, what did you use? Oh yeah, espresso, sorry. Everything to support and regression and everything. And but I'm not testing as a whole. That's what happens in Agile. Actually, even in Waterfall. Happy flashbacks. There were projects where I worked on, I didn't care about the requirements. My policy was, I test the product and then fix the requirement, and I was allowed to do that. And we had a great product. I mean, the first week I joined there, I logged 109 bucks. Second week was 100, and then it went down. And that doesn't mean it's a bad product. It was a very good product. It just needed some guidance. And I tested outside the requirements, and I was able to do a great job. That's because I tried to understand what the application was doing and support it better, and make recommendations of what could be more better for the product. And my developers, they love me. It's not just like, my sad stories and happy stories. The products are different now. It's not like I set out to build a house. No, there are like many teams working on one single page. Just when I think I've tested the damn thing, like up and front and everything, I've had my way with it, and then somebody does A/B testing. There's a new feature on my page, and it's breaking everything. And whoever did the A/B testing, they did their due diligence, but my page is breaking. And I don't even know about it till it goes to production, because it's all done in segregation. Same thing, like many changes. We're running out of time, so I'm going to run with it. So product owner in test. I would like to see where I can support the product. I would like to see how I can understand the product, write technical test cases for it. By technical, I mean not just automate and hope like it's going to run really, really, really fast. Software is highly manipulatable. I can take it apart, put it back together. Half of you people can do that. You just are not allowed to. To be a product owner in test, it's best if you're not a part of the Scrum group. Yeah. No.
You are or you are not?
No. No. I want to be associated with the product life cycle, not the development life cycle. You do whatever changes you want to do, you get it approved by your business, you give it to me. I will understand how I can support my product through its life cycle. This is when I test it and tell you, we find bugs all the time. And more these days, we find the bugs in production. Somebody else finds it for us. So it's fine. And yeah, we will do automation very generously, and we will maintain a product baseline properly. And we will be in charge of the product, because we don't want your product to be Jenga. I'm going to run through it. So, yeah. Product owner in test will be a part of the project lifecycle. Will be in charge of the product's quality, like literally, because I'm not being dragged to many sprint meetings and everything. Of course, we will do our own kind of Scrum to maintain the product and everything, but yeah, this is something I am proposing. Oh, sorry, that's the product life cycle. Sorry, I should have. My bad.
Ashes.
You're done. They're done.